NBA YoungBoy just got caught slapping his own homies on camera, and this time, it's not internet gossip. It's verified. DJ Academics himself pulled up to YB's house and confirmed what fans have been whispering for years. He saw it with his own eyes. YoungBoy screaming, putting hands on his crew, while they just stood there, silent. Nobody fought back. Because when one man feeds your entire family, you don't swing back. You submit. Inside YoungBoy's world, control is everything. It's not just about the music or the fame or even the street respect. It's about power. Everyone around him eats because of him. He pays the bills, keeps moms taken care of, and makes sure no one in his circle goes broke. On the surface, it looks like loyalty, but look closer. It's dependency disguised as respect. Because when your entire survival depends on one man, you'll tolerate anything, even when he crosses a line. That's why the story DJ Academics told didn't shock the people closest to YB. He's one of the only media guys YB actually trusts, and when he told fans what he saw, it confirmed the rumors. YoungBoy really does check his own people. Academics said he saw it firsthand. YB yelling, slapping, treating grown men like kids being scolded by a strict parent. The craziest part? Nobody dared to react. They just took it. And that's the dark side of being in YoungBoy's camp. The side nobody talks about. Because if YB cuts you off, it's not just you who loses, it's your entire family. Your kids, your mom, everyone depending on that money suddenly falls back into struggle. That's leverage. That's power. Inside his circle, YB is untouchable. You can hear in their tone, every word soaked in respect, with just a hint of fear, like they know he could switch on them at any second, and there's nothing they could do but nod and agree. From the outside, it seems insane. Why let another man talk to you like that? Why stand still while he puts hands on you? But the truth is, when that same man is the reason you got food on the table and a roof over your kids' heads, your pride takes a backseat. With YoungBoy, it's not just friendship, it's survival. He's a sun in their orbit, and once you step into that world, walking away can cost you everything. Then comes a Lil Dump story, the clearest window into just how deep YB's grip runs. Lil Dump isn't just another background homie. He's YB's right-hand man, the one who's been there since the start, to come up the beefs, the cases, the chaos. To outsiders, it looks like loyalty. But when you really see it for what it is, it's submission. Dump's loyalty goes beyond brotherhood. It's more like obedience. A photo once surfaced showing Lil Dump with a busted lip and blood running down his chin. Fans went wild, accusing YB of being behind it. And when you line that up with the stories Academics told, it fits. YB has always been known to snap on his people, especially those closest to him. But what really shocked fans wasn't the injury. It was the silence that followed. Dump never spoke on it, never addressed it. He stayed right beside YB like nothing ever happened. That silence said everything. It showed how that camp really works. YB isn't just a boss, he's a father figure. And Dump confirmed that himself in a viral clip where he called YB his daddy. It wasn't a joke. It wasn't trolling. It was raw respect. The kind that comes from being raised under someone's control. To Dump, YB isn't just a rapper. He's a man who fed him, sheltered him, gave him purpose when nobody else did. That's what most outsiders don't understand. It's easy to clown him, to say he's weak for letting another man hit him. But when you come from Baton Rouge with nothing, when you've seen poverty, hunger, and hopelessness, and a man like YB gives you a way out, you'll take the hit and keep standing beside him. Dump sees YB as the reason he escaped the trenches. That's why, even when things go too far, the loyalty never cracks. And YB knows it. That's why he can act like a parent disciplining his kids and still be respected afterward. In a twisted way, Dump's story exposes duality in YoungBoy's world. Love, brotherhood, fear, and control all blended together. Dump might call him daddy out of respect, but that word also defines a relationship perfectly. YB provides. YB protects. YB punishes. And for guys like Dump, there's no separating the three that now. Let's talk mental health and bipolar behavior, the part of YB's story that ties it all together. What makes YoungBoy different is how openly unstable he is. Most rappers fake the chaos. YB lives it. The mood swings, the sudden rage, the disappearances. It's not an act. It's real. He's admitted it himself. He's bipolar. And once you understand that, his behavior starts to make sense. Fans have been noticing it for years. One moment he's on live, laughing with his kids, talking about peace. The next he's flipping out, breaking things, threatening to crash out on whoever gets in his way. The same pattern shows up with his people. His crew isn't just his team. They're his emotional punching bags. When he snaps, they're the first in the blast zone. But they can't check him. They can't leave. Because YB's the breadwinner, the provider, the one keeping everyone's lights on. So they sit there and take it. Because fighting back means losing everything. That's what makes his circle so complicated. This mix of loyalty, fear, and survival instinct. It's not just toxic, it's dangerous. Because it gives YB total control. He knows nobody's walking away, no matter how bad things get. That cycle keeps spinning, and every outburst only tightens his grip on them. DJ Academics described it perfectly after visiting YB's house. He said it was like watching a storm, peaceful 1 minute, violent the next. One moment YB's checking his homies like kids, yelling, maybe even swinging. Then a few hours later, he's laughing with them like nothing happened. That's a bipolar roller coaster, rage followed by affection. Keeping everyone off balance, never sure which version of him they'll get next TO Outsiders. It looks like straight-up abuse. But to his people, it's just YB being YB. They've adapted to it. They've learned how to move quietly, how to stay out of line of fire, how to ride the wave until it calms down. And when it's over, YB makes up for it. With money, with gifts, with loyalty gestures that pull them right back in. He tears them down, then builds them back up like a toxic cycle they can't escape. And that's why leaving him isn't just hard. It's almost impossible. For guys like Lil Dump, YB isn't just a boss, he's family. And when your family is also your provider, your protector, and your only sense of security, you'll excuse anything. You'll call it love when it's really control. You'll take the hits and smile after, because the alternative is losing everything to SO when Dump sits there, blood on his lip, and still says, my daddy, yeah, he gave me some. It's not weakness. It's survival. It's the twisted reality of living under YB's shadow. A bond built not on friendship, but dependency, fueled by fear, loyalty, and the unspoken truth that nobody in that house wants to say out loud. You don't bite the hand that feeds you, even when it hits you that YB's mental health struggles don't just affect him. They control the energy of everyone around him. His crew isn't just living with a superstar. They're surviving with a storm that could explode at any second. Because as long as YoungBoy holds the money, the fame, and the power, the cycle keeps spinning. Fear versus respect. That's the question everyone keeps asking. Do they really love him or are they just scared of him? On the surface, it looks like loyalty. His homies are always around, riding in his cars, repping his brand, defending him online. But when you look closer, that loyalty starts to feel forced. Less like friendship, more like survival. Take Lil Dump, for example. He didn't just call YoungBoy daddy. He stayed silent through rumors, busted lips, and humiliation most men would never accept. That's not loyalty. That's submission. So the real question becomes, when someone lets you embarrass them and still stand beside you, is it love? Or fear of what happens if they walk away? The way YoungBoy runs his circle feels less like a rap crew and more like a household with strict rules. He's the parent. They're the kids. He sets the tone, and when someone steps out of line, he makes sure they feel it. DJ Academics even confirmed it after visiting YB's home. He said YoungBoy was checking his own people hard, yelling, even laying hands on them. And instead of fighting back, they stayed quiet. It was like watching a father discipline his children, which leaves fans asking, is that leadership or domination? Fear and respect look almost identical from the outside. Both keep people in line. Both build loyalty. But the difference is choice. Respect means you want to follow someone. Fear means you have to. And when you watch how YB's crew moves, it's hard not to see fear behind the loyalty. Look at how he treats outsiders. Snapping on fans, beefing with rappers, airing out drama online. That same energy exists inside his circle. The only difference? Outsiders can walk away. His crew can't. Their money, their safety, their families, all depend on him. When YB explodes, they absorb it. They take the hit and move on. But here's where it gets complicated. A lot of these guys genuinely love YoungBoy. They grew up together. They watched him rise from the trenches to one of the most streamed artists in the world. To them, he's not just a provider. He's proof that you can make it out. That's where respect comes in. Even after the yelling, the violence, the chaos, they still see him as someone worth standing by. So it's not all fear. It's a twisted mix of fear of losing him, respect for what he's done, and dependency on what he provides. That's the balance that keeps his empire standing. YB can be ruthless one day and generous the next. He'll embarrass you in front of everyone, then bless you with a chain the next morning. He'll slap you for disobedience, then feature you in a video right after. That emotional whiplash blurs the line between fear and love until they become the same thing. The truth is, his people probably follow him out of both. They respect his grind and his role in their lives, but they also fear his anger, his moods, and the threat of being cut off. That combination gives YB a level of power few artists ever reach. When you look at NBA YoungBoy's world from the outside, the cult leader label doesn't sound far-fetched. His crew doesn't just follow him, they orbit him. He's their provider, their protector, and their punisher. He controls the energy, sets the rules, and decides who's in or out. When he shows love, they act like it erases everything else. That's not loyalty. That's devotion. The same energy lives his fan base. YoungBoy supporters don't just stream his music. They defend him online like soldiers in a holy war. The same blind loyalty his crew has in real life. His fans mirror in the comments. But what makes the cult comparison really hit is his isolation. Ever since his legal troubles, YB has been tucked away in Utah, cut off from most of the world. That isolation didn't just change him. It changed his people. They became even more dependent. When your whole life is built around one man, and that man isolates you from everyone else, he becomes your entire universe. That's the same blueprint real cult leaders use. Cut people off, make them dependent, control them with a mix of fear and love. Whether he means to or not, that's exactly how YoungBoy operates. That's why clips like Lil Dump calling him Daddy hit so deep. That's not just a nickname, that's worship. Dump doesn't see YB as a rapper or a friend. He sees him as a father figure, a savior, the man who built the world he lives in. That's devotion on a spiritual level. Calling YB a cult leader might sound wild, but when you see how his crew obeys him, how his fans offend him, and how everything in his world revolves around his moods, it starts to make sense. YoungBoy isn't just an artist. He's a system, and everyone inside that system lives by his rules. At the end of the day, this isn't just a story about a rapper roughing up his crew. It's about power and how fame can twist relationships beyond repair. Most rappers surround themselves with yes men, but YoungBoy's world goes deeper. His people don't just agree with him, they surrender to him. And the scariest part? They don't even see it as a problem. That's how the cycle stays alive. Every slap, every outburst, every meltdown gets brushed off, not checked. Because as long as the money keeps flowing, nobody wants to risk losing their spot. But history always repeats itself. These kind of situations never last. Eventually, somebody snaps. Either YB goes too far, or someone close finally says, enough. Loyalty can stretch, but it always breaks. And when it does, it doesn't just end friendships. It destroys empires. This isn't just about one argument or one viral clip. It's about what happens when loyalty turns into dependence, and dependence turns into worship. That YB built a world where everyone around him answers to him. But the same power that built that world could also tear it apart. So the real question is, how long can he keep it from collapsing?